he has had no real professional opponents other than Tommy Fury that were legitimate world-class boxers.
Do this, walk, run, boxing, defend it, eat, sleep.
I think he went into that fight knowing that was probably going to happen.
Yeah.
And ultimately, the big win for him would be that he was even willing to do it and that he could do well for a little bit. And then eventually just deal with the fact that Anthony Joshua is going to connect with a bomb and breaks his jaw in 2 places.
Joe Rogan and Alexander Usyk break down the fight step by step, and they don't hold back as they call out Jake Paul for being completely outmatched. Anthony Joshua's power, skill, and total control of the ring are on full display, dominating every second. Meanwhile, Jake Paul's hype and confidence fall apart in real time. It becomes painfully obvious that loud trash talk means nothing when a true champion like Joshua steps in and shows what real mastery looks like. Asterisk, asterisk.
To this day, and I do it based on my reaction. Obviously, this is personal. I say it's the greatest knockout of all time. First time I ever stood up, I couldn't sit down. I was standing up. I was just like, oh!
I saw that. I saw you stand up. That's the first time I saw.
Alexander Usyk completely tears apart the image Jake Paul tries to sell, making it clear how empty the hype around him really is when placed next to real fighters. When you look at Anthony Joshua, his refined skills, discipline, and Olympic background speak for themselves. In comparison, Jake Paul's efforts come across as immature and unserious. Each statement cuts down Paul's confidence, embarrassing him on a global stage and sending a strong message. Talking big means nothing when faced with genuine boxing skill and years of true mastery.
This guy again try and win. 3 months, not 4 years. But sometimes people, I know one guy who will be 3-time Olympic Games, not take medal. Not bronze, not silver, not gold. But this guy 5-time win world champion. This guy say, hey listen, I can give this is 5 medal to take only 1 bronze medal Olympic Games. Bronze. It's Olympic Games.
Anthony Joshua made it unmistakably clear that Jake Paul attempted to control the fight behind the scenes, trying to shape the outcome in his favor. Joshua shut that down immediately, proving he cannot be bought, pressured, or managed by anyone else. That moment laid bare Paul's desperation and empty confidence. Fans watching saw Joshua's honesty, strength, and authority, reinforcing the idea that true champions rely on skill, discipline, and heart, not manufactured hype. Paul's ego took a serious blow as the world was reminded that social media fame means nothing against genuine ring experience and real heavyweight power. Derek, the only thing.
Derek, the only thing I would dictate on is me wanting to do more. So that's probably the only thing I'll ever ask him to do. Oh, can we do one more round on this? Can we do one more round on that? Like, I'm not dictating writing out a program like at 8 o'clock at night when I should be in bed resting. It's like people.
Dana White pointed out just how badly Jake Paul was exposed when he faced Anthony Joshua. Trying to go head-to-head with a real heavyweight was nothing more than a fantasy. Joshua's sheer size, raw power, and polished technique made Paul appear small and vulnerable. Dana's comments made one thing clear: hype can't cover up a lack of real skill. Every punch Paul took chipped away at his confidence, while Joshua's complete control reminded everyone why he stands as a 2-time heavyweight champion. Paul's ego was left in pieces, and fans were forced to face the hard truth about stepping into the ring without true experience.
Everyone in this venue, now, you asked me a question. Look, it wasn't the best performance. It wasn't the best. The end goal was to get Jake Paul, pin him down, and hurt him. That has been the request leading up, and that was on my mind. It took a bit longer than expected, but...
Anthony Joshua acknowledged that the fight wasn't flawless, but his goal was clear: to dominate and dismantle Jake Paul. With pinpoint accuracy, immense power, and steady patience, Joshua delivered his right hand exactly where it counted. Paul's ego and bluster quickly fell apart under Joshua's unwavering control. Fans witnessed a masterclass in boxing, seeing that hype alone can't withstand a disciplined, powerful, and tactical champion. Joshua left Paul fully exposed, humiliated, and reminded the world why he is a true heavyweight legend.
Olympic champion. First. Jack Paul, it's sportsman, YouTuber, showman. Rolls Royce, Fiat. Listen, it's true. Yeah.
Alexander Usyk didn't hold back in mocking Jake Paul, pointing out the stark difference between Paul's flashy, self-promoting persona and Anthony Joshua's Olympic-level experience. No amount of hype or glamorous lifestyle can match real skill and a lasting legacy. Fans saw the reality. Joshua represents true boxing excellence, while Paul comes across as clumsy and overconfident. Every jab, every punch, reminded the world that Paul's ego crumbles when he faces a genuine champion. Usyk's laughter perfectly captured the truth. Hype fades, but real skill always
Like you
wins.
would assume that wealth would take away your drive for
But it hasn't,
competition.
yeah.
He's a handful.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Joe Rogan praised Anthony Joshua for his relentless drive, emphasizing that even with fame and fortune, Joshua remains focused, disciplined, and hungry to win. In contrast, Jake Paul appeared lost and empty when faced with real pressure. Rogan highlighted an important truth: money and hype do not replace skill. Fans saw Joshua's dominance, mental toughness, and unwavering focus firsthand. Meanwhile, Paul's bravado fell apart against a true champion, showing that experience and preparation always outweigh loud talk and social media fame.
Other than boxing, there's a lot of egos involved, if that makes sense. Like he said this, he said that, and I want this, I want that.
Tyson Fury's reaction perfectly captured the severity of Jake Paul's defeat. Ending up in the hospital against a genuine heavyweight like Anthony Joshua revealed every weakness, inflated ego, and lack of real skill. Fury's comments underline that Joshua's power and accuracy are simply unmatched. Paul's bravado quickly turned into pain, and all his hype vanished. Fans witnessed firsthand that stepping into the ring with a true champion crushes illusions, leaving only harsh reality and shattered confidence.
Guys, the day after the fight, got out of surgery a few hours ago. They put a plate in my jaw, wired it up. Hurts to talk, so I'm gonna keep it short. Took the L, respect to the men across.
Seeing Jake Paul in the hospital was the ultimate proof of just how completely Anthony Joshua dominated him. All the hype, the trash talk, and the confidence disappeared in a single, decisive fight. Joshua's power, accuracy, and strategy left Paul embarrassed and fully exposed. Fans could see clearly that loudmouths crumble when faced with genuine skill. Paul's ego was crushed, his bravado vanished, and the world witnessed that social media fame can never replace years of training, discipline, and real heavyweight experience. Joshua entered the ring, asserted his dominance, and left Paul paying the price for overestimating himself.
I think Joshua did that to him because now he won't be able to talk like he does for a while.
Duke McKenzie summed up Jake Paul's defeat perfectly. Anthony Joshua didn't just win the fight. He completely destroyed Paul's arrogance and shattered his ego. Every punch and combination reminded everyone that talk can never replace real skill. Paul's broken jaw became a symbol of his overinflated hype being totally crushed. Fans watched a masterclass in dominance, witnessing Joshua's unmatched patience, power, and precision. The humiliation is total, and Paul's credibility as a fighter is now questioned worldwide. Joshua's legacy grows stronger, while Paul's bravado lies in ruins, making this fight a clear lesson in reality over illusion.
Over the top. I mean, that was a full force shot to the temple. I mean, he's right now. So they wipe off his gloves, but you look at him like he's really feeling it.
Joe Rogan emphasized the sheer, terrifying power Anthony Joshua brings to the ring. One knockout punch left Jake Paul stunned and completely exposed. Fans saw the full reality of Joshua's dominance. Paul's hype, social media bravado, and confidence all collapsed instantly. The shock on Paul's face proved that experience, power, and technique cannot be faked. Joshua's control of timing, precision, and raw force showed why he remains untouchable in the heavyweight division. Every moment made it clear that loudmouths like Paul are empty when facing a true champion.
Broke Jake Paul's jaw in 2 places, and I'm about to show you the x-ray in a second, but firstly, let's watch the knockout. Right there. Straight on the jaw, straight on the money. Even Jake's fool could not believe what happened. Jake Paul's jaw, you can see it is broken in 2 places.
The full force of Anthony Joshua's power is on display here. Breaking Jake Paul's jaw in 2 places wasn't just a win. It was a total demolition of his ego. Fans saw firsthand that hype can never replace real skill. Paul's overconfidence led directly to this humiliation. Joshua's precision and perfect timing left Paul with no chance. The X-ray confirms just how severe the knockout was and how vulnerable Paul truly was. This clip makes it clear why Joshua is feared. Every punch is purposeful, every move calculated, leaving loudmouths like Paul exposed and humiliated in front of the world. Joshua
Wish that I could have knocked him out at the start, but as we saw tonight, Jake has spirit. He has some heart. He tried his best, and I take my hat off to him because, number one, a lot of fighters haven't got in the ring with me, and Jake did.
Anthony Joshua acknowledged Jake Paul's stubbornness, but it didn't change the fact that Paul was completely outclassed. Despite his determination, he had no answer to Joshua's size, power, and experience. Fans could clearly see that heart alone cannot replace real skill. Joshua's dominance was obvious in every moment, while Paul's hype was fully deflated. This fight reinforced that loudmouths crumble when facing true champions. Joshua's legacy continues to grow, while Paul's credibility is left in ruins. Even with some resilience, Paul simply wasn't prepared to go up against a heavyweight like Joshua.
I thought Joshua did what he had to do. It took him a while to get it. He had to break him down and chase him down and unleash his powerful shots.
Joseph Parker highlighted Anthony Joshua's strategic brilliance in taking apart Jake Paul. This wasn't a quick knockout. It was methodical, calculated, and relentless. Paul's hype and bravado disappeared as Joshua pressed him, landing punishing shots and clearly showing the gap between a true heavyweight and a social media fighter. Fans witnessed Paul's desperation and watched his ego crumble under every powerful strike. The fight was a masterclass in patience, strategy, and execution. Paul's illusion of toughness was completely dismantled, proving that loud talk online doesn't translate into real ring intelligence. Joshua once again reminded the world why skill, power, and heart always beat hype and bravado.
It's just a fucking piss take that this guy's in there with Anthony Joshua, swinging away, landing. What's he done? He's had 18 minutes and landed 2 shots, and he's gone on survival.
Carl Froch laid bare Jake Paul's lack of ability in the ring. Watching Paul swing wildly while Anthony Joshua carefully and methodically dismantled him highlighted the huge gap in skill. Paul's desperate attempts to survive showed that hype and confidence quickly collapse against a real heavyweight. Fans saw Joshua's calm composure, raw power, and precise technique dominate every moment, leaving Paul embarrassed. Froch's straightforward commentary made it clear. Social media fame means nothing against years of training, Olympic experience, and real ring toughness. Paul's ego and overconfidence were completely crushed, leaving him exposed and irrelevant in the world of serious boxing. This fight was a clear lesson in reality versus illusion. Just __.
Yes, it took AJ a couple of rounds to get hold of him, and then he knocked him spark out and broke his jaw. It was a frustrating 2-3 rounds maybe, because Jake was moving so much, holding.
Eddie Hearn highlighted Anthony Joshua's tactical patience throughout the fight. Jake Paul tried to rely on movement and holding tactics, but it wasn't nearly enough against a disciplined heavyweight like Joshua. Every round showcased Joshua's strategic control, precision, and calculated power. Paul's toughness couldn't hide the fact that he was completely outclassed. Fans saw him break down, his ego and bravado destroyed by Joshua's relentless pressure and devastating strength. Hearn's analysis made it clear. This was a masterclass in ring intelligence, patience, and execution, proving that loudmouths like Paul cannot withstand the skill and force of a true 2-time heavyweight champion.
Every time he threw a punch, I like winced, because he's a big man and he's an incredible boxer and he's still in his prime, and he's got a very long reach and he's got a lot of power in that right hand, and that left hook is terrifying as well, and so I thought it could end at any moment. And so because of that,
Ariel Wani highlighted the sheer fear Anthony Joshua inspires in the ring. Every punch demonstrated his size, skill, and devastating power. Despite all his bravado, Jake Paul was completely outmatched. Fans could feel the tension and danger in every moment as Joshua asserted total dominance. Paul's hype and confidence collapsed under the pressure of facing a true heavyweight with Olympic experience and knockout power. This fight proved that no amount of social media fame or loudmouth bravado can stand up to a champion of Joshua's level. Every strike made a statement, and Paul's exposure confirmed that hype alone is meaningless against real experience and raw power.
His win today was the bread. AJ's win today was the exposure to more people. Even though he's mad famous, as we know, like there's a community he hasn't touched, and I think he touched that community today.
Vidal Riley highlights Anthony Joshua's growing impact beyond just winning fights. By decisively defeating Jake Paul, Joshua exposed Paul's empty bravado and showed the world who the real champion is. Fans everywhere saw that hype can never replace skill, and Joshua's performance strengthened his legacy. This fight wasn't only about power, it was about credibility, dominance, and calling out pretenders. Paul's ego and overconfidence were completely crushed, while Joshua earned respect, influence, and admiration. Fans now understand that Joshua commands not only in the ring, but also in perception, proving that true champions control both fights and the story around them. The aftermath of Anthony Joshua's crushing victory over Jake Paul has left the boxing world stunned. Every punch, every calculated move, and every moment in the ring confirmed what fans had already suspected. Jake Paul's hype and confidence were empty, and loud talkers without real skill crumble when facing a true champion. Joshua displayed not just raw power, but also ring intelligence, patience, and Olympic-level experience, systematically dismantling Paul's illusions of toughness. Paul tried to survive, clinging to his social media bravado, but it all vanished under Joshua's relentless attack. Even seasoned analysts like Joe Rogan and Alexander Usyk openly mocked him, proving that Paul's reputation as a fighter was little more than a facade, a shadow compared to the demands of real boxing. The fight also showcased Joshua's mental mastery. While Paul relied on showmanship, Joshua executed a precise, methodical dismantling that left Paul broken, both physically and mentally. For fans, this was a statement fight. Skill beats hype, preparation beats cockiness, and legacy beats short-term fame. Looking ahead, if Alexander Usyk steps into the ring next, there is no doubt who the true heavyweight elite is. But if Paul attempts another stunt, the lesson is crystal clear. Loudmouths do not survive in real boxing. Are you backing Anthony Joshua to continue his dominance in the heavyweight division? Or do you think Jake Paul can ever recover from this humbling defeat? Share your thoughts below and join the conversation.